Hey everyone, Random here. Today we're making a video on a bunch of really bad Godzilla plushies. Now, a few things to cover before we start this list. Number one, we'll not be covering any customs because that's just kind of mean. And number two, we'll not be covering any bootlegs because that's low-hanging fruit. Another thing is that I will not be just making it solely on if I do not like the character or the character's design in that iteration, such as Shibi Godzilla or Godzuki. I will not be covering that solely based on that. And another thing, if you like these plushies, it's not an attack on you. You are okay to like these plushies. I'm just making my own criticism and just laughing on a bunch of really funny looking plushies. Another thing is that most plushies will not leave the Toho Big Five, as you will see. I don't think there's any Rodan, but yeah. Without further ado, let's get on with the video. With our number one entry, we have this. I'm pretty sure it was made of Playmates Godzilla plushie. Now he looks like a mole. That's the first thing I'm gonna say. He looks like a mole. He looks like a dinosaur mixed with a mole. That's mostly it. He just looks so mole-ish. Probably because the arms just stick out like that. His face is just low-hanging. His face is kind of fat as well. He's just overall just kind of mole-ish. He has like too much of a low center of gravity. If not, his feet are literally just on the ground. It doesn't even look like a sitting position. He just looks like he's hunched over. Sort of like L from Death Note, except he's not L from Death Note. Alright, next we have the first entry of Toy Vault. Now, keep in mind, I love Toy Vault Godzilla plushies. In fact, I am blessed to own a few of them, like Rodan. But Toy Vault did make a couple bad plushies, like this guy. I know Godzuki is pretty weird, especially since they didn't make characters like Orga or Mogira. I would have liked them way more than Godzuki, but that's other than say. But this plushie just looks so weird looking. It's probably because the white mouth, it makes him look like he has one really big tooth. The eyes just look so stupid looking, and his weird just head shape. He looks just kind of dumb looking. He doesn't look like he has much going on up there. He looks not the brightest, like the shed. Another one we have is another Toy Vault entry. We have Baby Godzilla or Godzilla Jr. Now, I like Baby Godzilla. I loved him in Godzilla vs. Biollante, but this one looks super inbred. Now, you're not going to find this problem with the smaller ones. The smaller ones are generally alright, but when you get to the larger ones, that's when they start to look inbred. This one looks like if two Godzillas, one female, one male, decided to try to breed. I know it's physically impossible, but they bred. They somehow managed to make love, and they were both in Alabama, and they made this horrific abomination who would grow up and make our next entry this even more horrific, more inbred abomination, Godzilla Jr. His eyes are just like super closed. He looks almost like high, or like he looks baked, or he looks tired. The ears are off the head, which I don't like very much on the other Super Deformed plushies, but the Super Deformed plushies don't have the problem of the big goofy gaping maw that's just hanging over it forever in a kind of mouth expression. He looks like he's about to say that's mostly it, aside from the coloration. I don't really like the color and the material looking on. You're gonna notice that there's not gonna be a few more Toy Vault Godzilla plushies, but these are the worst ones. Now, Toy Vault, I love the Toy Vault plushies, like, they're really good, so. Next we have our first and only Mothra, I'm pretty sure. This Keychain Mothra plushie. Now, if I decide to record footage of this Mothra, you will notice that this is one of the worst Mothra plushies. This is the worst Mothra plushie ever made. The head position is super hunched. It's not hunched over, it's literally facing downwards. From Mothra's point of view, where she's flying, she's facing downwards. The pattern on the wings is just super off. It doesn't even take up all the wingspan. The legs are alright. They gave Mothra an entire stinger. They gave her stupid rabbit ears. I know they're supposed to be antennae, but they look more like rabbit ears. And they gave her a weird, stupid, bat-looking face. That's mostly it for this Mothra, but next we have this Ghidorah. It looks like the three Peters from Plants vs. Zombies, which is some kind of Pokemon that smiles a bunch. I'm not really remembering what the name is right now off the top of my head, but he just looks he looks like a Muppet, if anything. He doesn't really look like King Ghidorah. He just looks like 3 smiley faces attached to each other with wings. And the tag is sick, except for the fact that Ghidorah was not in Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla. If anything, this should have been the Godzilla vs. Ghidorah movie in the Heisei era, but for some reason they decided to make it about Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla. We'll see. And we're not going to be covering these two in the center because they'll get a later entry. But for these two, Mothra looks like an actual puppy dog. It's probably because of the plastic nose. That's more for animals, and more for animals like, say, mammals like dog or Freddy Fazbear's. But Mothra's supposed to be a larva or a caterpillar. Caterpillars don't have dog noses with dog muzzles. That's mostly my complaint. She just kind of looks like a dog with those 2 really small dot eyes. And Mechagodzilla. I want him so bad just for how stupid he looks. It's not because of his like mouth part is just hanging down forever, looking depressed. This Mechagodzilla is my spirit animal. He's always looking down like I am. All right, next we have these two boyos right here. I call them the uncanny duo. Now, when was Godzilla bright red? I know in Shin Godzilla he was reddish, but this isn't. So he's just really red for no reason. His legs are way too big for the size of his arms, which are little stubby T-Rex arms. Godzilla doesn't have the biggest arms, he doesn't have tiny stubby arms either. He has like regular sized arms for his body. Did they mistake him for a T-Rex? Because the green one is the dead giveaway. Godzilla is not green aside from that one green. But he's not that green. He has green. They have weird fins on their head, which they made them super weird looking, and they gave them little plastic noses as well to add insult to injury, because they add them on everything. Band Presto. A lot of these are Band Presto. You're gonna notice probably because Band Presto made a lot of weird Godzilla plushies. I like Band Presto too because they made like some good Mario plushies back in the day. And now they're making good anime plushies, especially for like animes like JoJo. They made some really good JoJo plushies. And plushies, please leave 5 minutes for me if you're wearing dresses in 6 foot fake street. So go send them to me, please. But yeah, Band Presto's Godzilla plushies are not very good, especially looking at the Gamera line. The Gamera ones are really good. I am blessed to own one of the Gamera plushies, and it is not that bad. They're like really good. The Gamera line. Big G is getting good plushies. Next we have the funny Ghidorah, and already he looks like a... Usually he has the kind of expression of... He looks like a stereotypical school bully. He looks like he's gonna beat you up and steal your lunch money. He looks like he's gonna shove you in a locker room. They look like they harass random women. Their eyes are super red. I know Ghidorah's eyes are red, but not that red. They just look a bit high, if I had to say, and especially their goofy expressions. This is Stoner Ghidorah. This is Ghidorah if he went to Randy Marsh's Tegra Read shop. Next we have... Ooh boy, I've been waiting to rip in this guy for a while. We have the Band Presto Godzilla plushie. I hate this guy. His bright green nose, whether it's his weird green expression, his beige color stomach that he does not have, his claws. These guys are some of the worst Godzilla plushies out there. I know a lot of the Band Presto plushies are bad, but this one is just especially bad looking. He doesn't look like Godzilla at all. If anything, he just looks like some green broccoli man. If he looked like a dinosaur, he doesn't even look like a dinosaur at that point. He just looks like some weird green monster, like Oscar the Grouch. He doesn't look very good. He doesn't look like Godzilla. He looks cute and all, but he doesn't look like Godzilla at all. So, yeah, and they made a bunch of these variants of this. Like, they made with the instrument set, which I love the instrument set. So guitar guidance. They made a lot of good plushies in that set, but this is not one of them. They made a Godzilla kart racer set, which is pretty strange. racers, which is I still use the same cars we used for Mario Kart. But other than that, he just looks kind of weird looking. But they mass-produced the shit out of this guy. Like, there are so many versions. Alright, next we have this boyo right here. I call him Big Boy Godzilla. He looks like American Godzilla. He looks really fat. He looks like he eats McDonald's cheeseburgers. He's fat. He's a fat boy. His fat face and his fat little body. He's just a fat boy, alright? That's a fat boy right there. He's a big boy. And his plastic nose as well. The plastic nose has just pissed me off. Other than that, he's just kind of stupid looking. That's it. Well, he's not even. He's kind of cute. He's just a big fat boy. He's a fat boy. We gotta get this boy on a diet. He's gonna die soon. And next we have another band prospect. We have my boy Mechagodzilla. Now you're gonna notice his tie. I know he had that in the Godzilla Land series, but they're not even Godzilla Land on the thing. They're all thing like Lit Doji or something. This is not. Now moving up, we have the actual defining feature, the mouth. Who thought it was a good idea to give Mechagodzilla a human, organic-looking mouth? He looks like he's like a regular Godzilla trapped in a robot suit. The eyes look like random, like, freaking praying mantis size. He looks just so weird looking. The head fin's alright. There's no nose, you're gonna notice. It's just, he's forever facing down. He's forever looking, just dumb looking, yeah. That's how I'm gonna describe him. And next we have another Van Presto Mechagodzilla. We have another praying mantis boy. Sharp, weird teeth. That's mostly it. He's pretty cute looking. He doesn't look like Mechagodzilla, but he just looks cute. Like, I would love to own him. He's cute looking. And next we have, I think this might be the last Toy Vault Godzilla plushie. I'm looking ahead. Yeah, this is the last one. It's my first Godzilla. Now, don't get me wrong, this one's cute. It's not like some of the ugly ones, like Super Slim Baby Godzilla. But this one doesn't really look like Godzilla at all. Whether it be the lack of a nose that I can see, whether it be the weird, like, little cat paw print things, or the fact that he's forever holding a ripped-off piece of a train. He does not look very Godzilla-like. Don't get me wrong, he's cute, but my first Godzilla does not really look like Godzilla, especially since he's green! Oh my god, I hate green Godzilla. Please, companies, stop making your Godzillas green. I swear to God. I'm gonna go sicko mode if you make them green. Thank you. Alright, next we have the next Kid Robot plushie, aside from that good old covered earlier, the bully one. We have Mechagodzilla. Who decided to give him teeth? He looks like he has a mouth. Number 1. Number 2, he has a weird eyebrow ridge, making him look like a caveman. Or like a monkey. Like in that one South Park episode where the boys are obsessing over that one girl. He looks, and they all become ape-like. He looks like he's forever ape-like. The rest of him's alright looking, it's just that he looks forever ape-like. The face is what gets it. So since on the final figure made by Kid Robot, he looks a lot better. Why couldn't they just have copied that? Instead they made him look like a monkey. He's not King Kong. He's not a shark, because he looks shark-like as well. It's Mecha Godzilla! And the second to last, we have these are really old plushies, keep in mind. We have my boys, Godzilla and Godzuki, with their names imprinted so we don't get them mixed up. And these two. What do you start with Godzilla? He's not green! And they gave him a lizard tongue too. That just to add insult to injury. I get that he was green in the cartoon, but still, just to add insult to injury, they added a lizard tongue. That doesn't look like fire breath. Then number 2, they imprinted his name on him. That just looks really dumb looking. That's mostly it. The face just looks kind of lizard-like as well. And we got my boy Godzuki. I will curb stomp Godzuki. For God's sake, they made him yellow. They wrote his name on him. And they gave him a weird smile. This does not look like Godzuki. This does not look like Godzuki at all. The Toy Vault one looked better than this. This does not look like Godzuki at all. This just looks like some weird dinosaur with 2 weird blue skin flaps underneath his arms. That is not my Godzuki. Not my Godzuki. And the final one we have is my boy Minna. It's Manila. Oh my god. He looks sleepy. They made his eyes like that. You'll notice on a lot of the poorly made ones, his eyes are like down here. You could barely see his eyes. The nose, especially, I know it was based off the other band Presto one, but the nose just pisses me off. They didn't give him any teeth. I know Manila doesn't have any teeth, but they made him like a lighter green, which I guess is in line with their Oscar the Grouch-looking Godzilla. They gave him that same blue. They gave him that same beige stomach that Godzillas are known to have, because Godzilla is apparently Sonic the Hedgehog now. And that's pretty much it. Aside from the weird, like, dog-like muscle they gave him, this does not look like Godzilla at all. None of these look like their actual counterparts. That's probably the reason why I don't think they're very good. A lot of these don't look like the Godzilla characters. Like, if you looked at this from a distance and you were like a Godzilla fan, you would not think half of these are the Godzilla characters. So, that was pretty much it for me, and, yeah. Now, if you like these plushies again, it's alright, and, that's pretty much it. So, yeah, I will go edit this video, so, see ya.